Good morning, everybody. Today we are going to start a new topic, that is transpiration. Firstly, let's go through the definition. Transpiration is a process of water movement through a plant and is evaporation from aerial parts, especially from leaves, but also from stems and flowers. That means, in simple terms, transpiration is the loss of water from parts of the plant. Let's focus on types of transpiration. There are three types of transpiration. Firstly, let's focus on the first type of transpiration, that is cuticular transpiration. Firstly, let's talk about what actually is cuticle. So, cuticle is a waxy substance that is present on the surface of the leaf, and cuticular transpiration is the loss of water in the form of water vapor through the cuticle. If you look at this diagram, we have a leaf, and on the surface of the leaf, we know that there is a sticky-like or a waxy-like substance which is called as cuticle. From those cuticle, there is a small loss of water, which is called as cuticular transpiration. Next type of transpiration is the lenticular transpiration. So firstly, let's talk about what actually is lenticel. So this lenticel is a small opening, especially on the old stems, woody stems or fruits. So the loss of water in the form of water vapor taking place through the lenticels or through the pores of the fruits. That is called as lenticular transpiration. Let's talk about the last type of transpiration, that is stomatal transpiration. Firstly, let's talk about what actually is stomata. So stomata looks something like this. Here the stomata is open. This is the stomata. These are the guard cell. Here the stomata is closed by the two guard cells. So stomata is a minor opening present on the surface of the leaves. The loss of water from the stomata is called as the stomatal transpiration. And amongst the three types of transpiration, the major transpiration happens from the stomata. Almost 80 to 90% of the total water loss takes place from the stomata. And the opening and closing of this stomata depends upon the guard cell. When there is more water, the guard cell becomes turgid, whereby the stomata opens and there is transpiration. When there is less water, the guard cell will become flaccid or it will shrink, whereby the stomata closes. Now let's try to differentiate between what actually is evaporation and transpiration. So evaporation occurs when water becomes water vapor from the bodies of water, and transpiration occurs when water leaves a plant as vapor. There is another term called as evapotranspiration, and evapotranspiration is the sum of both evaporation and transpiration, the way water moves from the liquid state to the gaseous state. Now let's try to learn some of the internal factors affecting transpiration. So the first factor is number of leaves. If there is more number of leaves, there will be more stomata. If there is more stomata, there is more loss of water. Likewise, number of stomata. If there is more number of stomata, more transpiration. Less number of stomata, less transpiration. Size of the leaves. If the size of the leaf is broader, bigger, more transpiration. If the size of the leaf is smaller, less transpiration. The presence of plant cuticle. If there is thick cuticle, less loss of water in the form of transpiration. And if the cuticle is thin, there is more transpiration. Now let's focus on external factors affecting transpiration. So for first factor is temperature. If the temperature is high, there will be more transpiration. And if the temperature is low, there is less transpiration. Likewise, let's talk about relative humidity. If the environment has more humidity, that means less transpiration. If the humidity is less, more transpiration. Likewise, we have wind and air movement. Likewise, soil moisture ability and types of plant, which determines the rate of transpiration. There is a substance called as antitranspirant, such as we have abscisic acid, and we can also use other waxes as antitranspirant. Antitranspirants are those compounds which reduces the rate of transpiration. Example, if you put the antitranspirant on the leaves, there will be less loss of water from the plant in the form of transpiration. Whereas if we do not apply antitranspirants, there will be more transpiration compared to the normal plant, compared to the plant where we apply the antitranspirant. With this, we come to the end of the topic. Hope you are clear about transpiration.